There you go.
Hello.
Tripod?
Here, this one. Get the red. This one. This a new one? Okay, we're going to call to order the Franklin Regional School Directors' regular meeting for March 21st, 2022. We'll stand for the salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're in executive session for contractual, legal, and personnel issues. Roll call vote, Ms. Wolf. I'm sorry, reading the mission statement. My fault. We, the Franklin Regional School community, strive for excellence, learning, achievement, and citizenship in all we do. Now roll call vote.
Mr. Kozlowski?
Here.
Mr. Mederator?
Here.
Mr. Weinman?
Here.
Mr. Krumsky?
Here.
Mr. Azalina?
Here.
Ms. Eshelman-Ramey? Here. Mr. Yingling?
Here.
Ms. Altieri Hand?
Here?
Mr. Yant is absent.
Okay, thank you very much. Superintendent's report, Dr. Perino.
So one of our hallmark programs is the senior high school's internship program, and tonight it's my pleasure to have Mr. Jeff Stanczak talk to you a little bit about that program, as well as have an opportunity to talk with some of our students who are participating. Mr. Stanczak.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. P, for the introduction, and thanks for having me here tonight. Appreciate it. I'm going to just, I think we're mostly familiar with the program, so I'm just going to give a few updates about the program and where we stand with it, and then I'm going to turn it over to our students. First and foremost, thank you for your continued support. As Dr. P said, this is something that we're really proud of and really excited about at the senior high school. One of our main initiatives is to build bridges between our students and the professionals in our area, and this is a great way to do that, both for the benefit of our professionals and first and foremost, of course, to help our students in their future. You know, as a teacher, you look for those aha moments. You love it when that light bulb goes off in the student's head. It's always very rewarding, and that's nice when you see that in the classroom on a concept or an idea. It's very rewarding. But when you see a student, a senior, who all of a sudden says, I think my future's coming into focus a little bit. I think I know what I'm going to do next after high school. I think what my next step is. It's fantastic to see, and I'm really proud of our students, and thank you again for your support. So, quick updates. First of all, we're back from COVID, from the pandemic. We struggled a bit last year, as everything did. But our professionals, our organizations have opened up again. Our hospitals are taking interns again. So our numbers are going back up. We had 15 in the fall and 15 in the spring. Hopefully by next year, we're back up to around 25 in both semesters. So things are going well. A few still little difficulties. Some places are still have some restrictions in place. But just like anywhere else, a lot of businesses are hybrid. So our internship program has gone hybrid as well. I really like to have our interns in the professional setting, but that professional setting looks differently now. So that's the world they're going into. So I'm actually kind of excited when our professionals can offer some sort of a hybrid option for our students to experience. Let's see. So we work with dozens of groups in the area, dozens of professionals. I'm not going to list them all, but I at least wanted to thank all the people who hosted and mentored our interns this year. This is in no particular order. Of course, the Franklin Regional School District is a great resource for us. Lots of teachers. We're going to hear from some teachers tonight. But not just the classroom, but our administration office, our business office, our occupational therapists, our speech therapists, always welcome our interns. So thanks to them. Again, in no particular order, the Westmoreland Country Club, Westmoreland Conservancy, Macero Corporation, Reflex Brands, Forbes Regional Hospital, NovaCare, Lifeline PT Pulmonary Rehabilitation, East Suburban Sports Medicine, Murraysville Veterinarian Association, Tedesco Body Shop, Exquisite Bride, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Greensburg, the Westmoreland Cultural Trust, General Carbide, Volkovac Law Offices, Siemens in Mount Pleasant, and the Westmoreland Community College Athletics Department. Some of those people have hosted one of our interns, some of them hosted multiple interns, so I wanted to recognize them and thank you for their support this year in particular. With that, I think I want to turn it over to our students, so if you guys could please come up. We have Josie Seymour and Abigail, come on up, Abigail Hopkins, and Jesse Gordon. And they were all interns in the fall. We have another batch of interns who are going right now. But I wanted them to just simply talk a little bit about their experience, what the internship did for them. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask. If you're not familiar with our program, after hearing from our students, I think you'll have a pretty good idea of what we're shooting for. So, Josie, I'd like to start with you. Could you just talk a little bit about your experience, maybe why you wanted to enter the internship program, et cetera?
Hi. Hi, my name's Josie. I'm a senior at the high school, and I did 9 weeks in a kindergarten setting, my second 9 weeks in the intermediate learning support setting. And I always thought I wanted to be a teacher, and this program just gave me experience to actually see what it was like to be a teacher and have hands-on experience working with the kids. And it made me want to be a teacher more. So I committed to St. Vincent for early childhood special education to continue my degree in teaching, because this internship inspired me to be a teacher even more.
Thank you, Josie. We just happen to have a number of teacher interns, but we do have one who's moving on to healthcare. But thank you, Josie. Abigail, could you share a little bit as well?
So I was I'm sorry, I'm really short. So I was fortunate enough to work with a 4th grade teacher in a virtual learning setting and a 7th grade teacher in your brick and mortar setting. I learned from my experience that as much as I love little kids, I cannot spend the rest of my life working with little kids. So actually 2 weeks ago, I committed to Waynesburg University for secondary education, general sciences.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, it's really important to find out what you don't want to do too. So, a lot of our interns know what they want. They're going for it. So let's get them out there like Josie and get her the experience. But, uncovering those different pathways is fantastic. Jesse, could you share a little bit about what your experience was?
All right, so my first time around, the first 9 weeks, I was at Forbes Hospital as well as the Monroeville Surgery Center, which is their affiliate center down the road. And I also was at the middle school with Mr. Tressler, and similar to Abigail, I always wanted to be a teacher, but when I did this internship, I kind of opened my eyes to what it's like to work with kids. And up until last year, I had never really thought about nursing until I volunteered at Forbes, and that's what I decided to do. So I'm going to pursue nursing at West Virginia University in the fall.
Thank you, everybody. Do we have any questions for our interns?
This is not as much questions as much as to say, first of all, thank you for all three of you for taking and getting that experience. And I think it gave you some real life experience. Those that can maybe tolerate the kids, we need teachers. But I think it's also good to realize that you may not really be suited for the little guys and you want to go to the next level. But the most important thing is you got that experience to see that. So, the teachers is a wonderful profession. For yourself going into healthcare, again, you're making choices of careers, of a wonderful profession for your further on in your life. And I think I would advise anyone to get an opportunity to go into a situation like that where you can basically get a feel out first. It's kind of a nice tryout, not you go into a job and like, oh, I hate this job and you want to quit. So this is kind of a good way to get your feet wet and get to know your calling and your passion. And thank you guys for what you did.
Sort of taking it personally, we have yet to have a superintendent intern.
Or a principal intern. I try to steer them away from that, yeah. But you never know. We'll see.
Tremendous opportunity for those who want to pursue the superintendency or the principalship.
Remember, though, you have to be a teacher first before you get to be a superintendent. You have the stepping ground there.
All right.
Thank you very much. That concludes.
Mr.
Thank you again for
Stanczak, I
your
want to
support.
thank you for all the work you put into this program.
It's my pleasure. It really is. Thank you very much.
Anything else? Dr. Prine?
That's it.
That's it? Okay. All right, we're going to move on to the rest of the agenda. I need approval for the minutes for the regular meeting of February 14th, 2022, and the committee of the whole meeting of March 7th, 2022.
So moved.
Moved Ed, need a second.
Second.
Second Kevin, comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 8-0. Okay, future dates and upcoming topics, Dr. Prino.
On April 4th, we will have a committee of the whole meeting beginning at 7:30 p.m. here at the Murraysville Municipal Building. And then on April 11th, we will have our regular meeting here at 7:30 at the Murraysville Municipal Building. And then on April 22nd, there will be a Finance Committee meeting beginning at 1:30 p.m. at the administrative offices. Upcoming topics include policy first read, personnel, gifts, grants, and donations, budget transfers, and camp convention facility use for summer 2022. And that concludes reports and information.
Thank you very much. Okay, on to the financial reports. I need a motion for the treasurer's report for February 2022. Need a motion?
So moved.
Move Scott,
Second.
second Ed. Comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries 8-0. Okay, payment of bills. Paid bills for March 2022. General fund of $578,899.50. Capital Reserve Fund, $6,625. Athletic Fund, $19,464. Total paid bill of $604,988.50. Unpaid bills, General Fund, $910,917.71. Capital Reserve Fund, $16,720.85. Athletic Fund, $25,501.87. Construction Fund, $331,601.63. For a total of unpaid bills of $1,284,742.06, for a grand total of $1,889,730.56. Food service of $142,685.67, for a grand total, including food service, of $2,032,416.23. Need a motion for the payment of bills. List of bills.
So moved.
Moved Kevin, second.
Second.
Pardon me?
Second.
Second, Vince. Comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 8-0. Okay, we're moving on to public comments. We have 5 public comments tonight. Jessica?
Good evening. My name is Jess Perriton, and I live at 5606 Fieldstream Drive in Export. My son Alex is a junior at the high school, and my daughter Anna, she's a freshman, and she's in the honors English class. I'm here to talk about the Persepolis Pause. First of all, I want to thank you, Ms. Eshelman, Ramey, for your email back. I do feel like we'll be able to hopefully resolve this quickly and rightly. I'm here to publicly stand in support of keeping this book in the curriculum. When Anna had told me that it had been pulled, I had obviously read it immediately. I've concluded personally that not only is this book not harmful, I strongly feel that it is very timely in light of all of our world's current events. We are extremely fortunate that most of us in this room have never personally experienced a political revolution and the danger that it brings to our loved ones or maybe even ourselves. Our daughters do not know what it's like to have to be told to cover their hair. We have freedom of speech even when it's against our government, and we can listen to whatever kind of music we want. Persepolis shows us through a young lady's eyes what it's like to live, grow, and mature without these types of freedoms. You do need to wade through some somewhat adult literature or content in there. But I would say that it's no more than what they're exposed to on a daily basis, whether it be on the bus, Twitter, Snapchat, the television, and sometimes even in our families' homes. Any negative aspects to this book, such as profanity and a passing reference to the CIA, are fully outweighed, in my opinion, by the beneficial substance it brings to the dinner table discussion. If any family has views that are different than what I've expressed, then what a great opportunity to talk to you or to talk to your children about these issues. If we no longer allow books in the curriculum based on what may or may not offend us or what we may or may not fear, we will no longer be able to read. They're currently now reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and it's construed by some as a racist book. However, what better way to talk about racism and how we continue to grow as a culture after reading such a classic book? We now have a new book that I hope becomes a classic in our school, and I think this book reinforces the freedoms that we enjoy and that many die for. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Kirsten Troutman.
Good evening. My name is Christy Troutman. I live at 4043 Sloanwood Drive, and I have a daughter in 9th grade honors English. I'm back to ask for a swift restoration of Persepolis into the curriculum. I have read the book and spoken before to this board and to the curriculum committee about my assessment, so I won't repeat those details, save to reiterate for the broader audience that I found the book contents to be appropriate for 9th grade honor students, and I think there were many points, both historical facts and critical analysis, that could be drawn from the text. I can appreciate that when a small group of community members raised concerns about the text in the days before it was scheduled to be taught, that perhaps it seemed like a good idea to pause, to listen, to examine the book, and to respond in an informed way. But it has now been weeks. I read the book in an afternoon, and the facts are clear. Persepolis appeared on lists of recommended books for high school curriculum. It was reviewed by teachers who recommended it for inclusion because they believed it had value on its own merits, and as part of the 9th grade honors English curriculum. It was reviewed and approved by the curriculum committee. There was public comment period where parents and community members were welcome to provide input. The book was part of the curriculum, which was approved by the Franklin Regional School Board. Further, administration's been very clear that any family who has objections to this text or other assignments can request an alternate assignment. My daughter has received differentiated instruction of this type since kindergarten, frequently working on assignments that are different from her peers, and she has excelled. So there's no reason to think that requesting an alternate assignment would result in inferior learning. All of this was established within a few days of the decision to pause. The delay in resolution of this issue and the unclarity of the process is causing harm. The process is creating the distinct impression in the district and the broader public that Franklin Regional is wavering in its longstanding commitment to excellence in education by allowing the complaints of a small number of community members to interrupt thoughtful and established practices for determining the curriculum. FR is fortunate to have accomplished, experienced, and dedicated administrators and teachers who provide high-quality educational opportunities to our students. The reputation of the school district is the centerpiece of Murraysville community and a key reason that my family and many families live here. In our district and in the 9th grade honors English cohort, there are many students who have different cultural experiences and beliefs. Students who pray differently, students whose families have radically different political ideologies. We need an educational curriculum that will give our students skills and practice in listening to and negotiating differences, in thinking critically, in articulating their own positions, and learning to stand up for what they believe. Franklin Regional had previously decided that Persepolis fit into those goals, and that decision should stand, giving parents who object the right to opt out of the assignment. So please restore Persepolis to the planned 9th grade honors English curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Riley. Blatts, right? Okay.
Hello, my name is Rileyblatts. I live at 2753 Springview Court, and I'm currently a 9th grade honors English student at Franklin Regional. With recent events, specifically those pertaining to the questions surrounding the book Persepolis, I felt the need to speak for you today. Having read this book myself, and all of the other texts in our current curriculum, I can confidently say that this book is in no way more mature than any of the other pieces we've read. The book contains less sexual content than Romeo and Juliet, less violence than The Most Dangerous Game, and to be as transparent as possible, less profanities than the hallways of Franklin Regional. The claimed Marxist ideologies that some parents fear are featured are only briefly mentioned, present only to emphasize the stress placed upon children to accept their parents' beliefs. As far as drug use goes, the main character smokes only once, decides she doesn't like it, and never does it throughout the book. This experience is used as a metaphor for growing up, and ultimately delivers a positive message about not giving in to peer pressure. To put the plot aside, however, I would like to address what I feel is the bigger issue with taking Persepolis out of the curriculum. For me, my primary concern comes with the topic of censorship. This discussion is much bigger than the novel alone, and to take the book out of the curriculum is to endorse the idea of censorship by sending a message to the children of the school district that the easiest way to solve a problem is to silence those that are endorsing the opposing beliefs. With polarization in areas of politics, race, and countless other factors already becoming both a dividing and rising issue in our community today, this is not only a negative message to be sending, but also a dangerous one. I'd like to ask, if we allow this book to be taken out of the curriculum, where is the line drawn? How do we decide what can and cannot be censored? How do we stop this somewhat arbitrary example from turning into something more, later censoring political ideas or minority subcultures simply because these things do not align with our own personal beliefs? Thank you for both your time and your consideration.
Thank you very much, Riley. Giaprasad, I'm sorry. Okay.
Hi, my name is Giaprasad, and I live at 3830 Hickory Hill Road. And I'm a student in Honors English 9 talking today about the removal of Persepolis from my curriculum. Every student in 9th grade Honors English in high school in Franklin Regional is learning history with the white perspective at the center. This has been going on for decades and will continue to go on for decades without change. But change is here. We are sitting here faced with a different perspective, one we have yet to see, something that is new and different, and something that is necessary to understand for the growth and development of young students. But it is removed, taken out, and replaced with something that is not new or different or important. That novel being To Kill a Mockingbird. This novel is told through the eyes of a white person, and it's told in a coming-of-age format, which is absolutely perfect for centering the same perspective yet again. But to reiterate, my problem today is not with the content of To Kill a Mockingbird, or any other story that might replace Persepolis in the curriculum, but with the idea that this story tells and how it is somehow more important than that of Persepolis. I understand that hands may be tied, but as Riley stated, Persepolis is neither more explicit than Romeo and Juliet, nor more violent than any other short stories we have read in class. So I can only assume that I am not finishing reading chapters 10 through 16 of Persepolis for homework today, because To Kill a Mockingbird is more appealing, more palatable, and nothing new. It is the perspective that always seems to take priority, and it is that priority that will not challenge ways of thinking or teach me and my classmates anything new about looking at life. The entire reason I'm here today will remain the fact that we cannot go out into the world knowing nothing about the perspective of anyone other than our own. Every way of looking at life is important, and when that is taken away from my education, from all of our educations, it is taking away a vital part of my schooling, and most of all, a vital part of my understanding of the world. So I'm standing here asking you, why is it okay that the school centers one side of history when someone or something challenges it, is taken down, banned, and not to be talked about again? Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, Christine Marriott.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Marriott, 2214 Trefoil Drive, and I'm also here to talk about the Pause in Persepolis, here again, as well as I did speak, as Christy did, at the Curriculum Committee meeting last week. I do have a student in the Honors English 9 course, and I have also read Persepolis. I saw on Twitter a gentleman, Jonathan Friedman, who is the Director of Free Expression and Education at the nonprofit PEN America. He recently used Franklin Regional as an example when he talks about the beginning stages of book bans seen around the country. He observes that the pattern that often plays out, and you might recognize these first couple in our current situation, is that, quote, there are processes for parental involvement, but they were missed or ignored, end quote. He writes that social media often drives outrage and that often school districts ignore their own policies, similar to what Franklin Regional has done. In cases like this, he writes that if things go further, communities end up seeing books to ban lists begin to circulate in the community, and later still, he sees schools struggling as parents challenge hundreds of books at a time, burdening districts with an unusual and expensive level of administrative tasking. So this is exactly why I've argued previously that this is a horrible precedent to set. As I mentioned at the Curriculum Committee meeting last week, the College Board, which administers the AP program, has a set of 7 principles to define what AP stands for. Given that Franklin Regional is a school district that prides itself on college preparedness, I'd like to read a few of those principles that speak to this particular situation. Number 3, AP opposes censorship. AP is animated by a deep respect for the intellectual freedoms of teachers and students alike. If a school bans required topics from their AP courses, the AP program removes that AP designation from that course, and its inclusion in the AP course ledger provided to colleges and universities. For example, the concepts of evolution are at the heart of college biology, and a course that neglects such concepts does not pass muster as AP biology. Number 4, AP opposes indoctrination. AP students are expected to analyze different perspectives from their own, and no points on an AP exam are awarded for agreement with a viewpoint. AP students are not required to feel certain ways about themselves or the course content. AP courses instead develop students' abilities to assess the credibility of sources, draw conclusions, and make their own minds. As the AP English Literature course description states, AP students are not expected or asked to subscribe to any one specific set of cultural or political values, but are expected to have the maturity to analyze perspectives different from their own and to question the meaning, purpose, or effect of such content within the literary work as a whole. Honors English 9 is a prep course for AP English. How are our students supposed to be prepared if we pull books that teach them how to analyze different perspectives? And number 5, AP courses foster an open-minded approach to the histories and cultures of different peoples. The study of different nationalities, cultures, and religions, races, and ethnicities is essential within a variety of academic disciplines. AP courses ground such studies in primary sources so that students can evaluate experiences and evidence for themselves. We aren't helping our students develop an open-minded approach if we pull books that present the histories and cultures of different people. As I mentioned last Wednesday, I am a marketing professor, so I often see things through a marketing lens. Through that lens, there was a really interesting editorial in the Post-Gazette yesterday. I don't know if any of you saw this in the Post-Gazette. The title of this editorial is "Book Cancel Culture Comes to Pittsburgh." So after a discussion of the graphic novel Mouse being removed from the curriculum in the Tennessee School District, the editorial board writes, "Closer to home, another acclaimed graphic novel incurred the wrath of a few parents days before it was scheduled to be taught in a 9th grade honors English course at Franklin Regional Senior High School." And then the article wraps up with, "There's a reason Persepolis has been popular with young people for nearly a generation. They can relate to the 14-year-old lead character's struggle for identity in a world where authorities insist on doing their thinking for them. Perhaps this is the real reason that a few parents want to silence yet another great book." I'm just curious if this is what Franklin Regional wants to be known for. As a district where teachers need to worry that their lesson plans can be upended on the whim of a few parent complaints, as a school district that purports to offer a top-tier education, yet pulls items from an honors course, from an already approved curriculum that was recommended by 2 layers of subject matter experts based on some complaints from the community, do we want to be known as a school district that does things against the principles of the advanced placement program and risk losing AP designation for our courses? Or do we want to be known as a school district that challenges our students with difficult but important concepts and discussions and that prepares those students for the realities of the world beyond this school district? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's it for public comments. Solicitors' comments.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our report was given in executive.
Thank you, Carisha. Okay, we're going to move to consent agenda items. For consent agenda for separate actions by members of the board. We have 10 consent agenda items. Anybody have any questions on the 10 consent agenda items? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve consent agenda items 1 through 10.
So moved.
Move Mark,
Second.
second Scott. Comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 8-0. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Move Ed,
Second.
second Mark. All in favor? Aye, motion carries. Everybody have a great night. Thank you very much for coming. Speakers, thank you for being here.